I to do? This mist's driving me crazy.
Audrin, where are you?
Oi, Witcher! Out in these wastelands hunting monsters? Well, if you see two of my men, tell them I'll rip them both brand new assholes if they miss muster.
What are they doing there?
It's a common malady. A day don't go by that some dimwit don't sneak out of the camp to go to the gullies.
They may never return.
Anything's possible. But I, for one, hope they just overdid it with the liquor and fell asleep in some bush.
We'll see if I come across anyone.
Luck be with you. You're a good fellow. Ah, find them and you'll see Corporal Zivik knows how to be grateful. What do you want, Witcher?
From what I can see, you and the men love your king.
He's like a father to us, really. Comes around from time to time, chats it up, pats you on the mug. Remembers our names too, though you gots to earn that in battle. Been so distinguished 3 times already, pride myself on it.
I'm sure it's a great honor for a humble soldier like yourself.
Last time it happened, we was on the march. Some peasant poisoned his well. A few of our lads died, many others got sick. I pacified that village. We hit them so hard, we even struck fear into our own boys. They went without a row for 2 days, and the king was very pleased. He came around, gave me a friendly punch in the gut, laughed and said, "You are one true son of a bitch. If you'd not been born among swine, you'd probably be king." That's how he is. Humane and all. He's really got a heart.
Did you participate in the battle?
I did, and I fought. But I'd rather not go into it.
The spirits of those who died in battle are now in combat on that field. They kill each other and change into nasty creatures called Draugrs. Edirnians, Cadwenis, even your comrades. I want to help them, but I have to know what happened during the battle.
Oh, the plague. Listen then. The fighting started in the afternoon. The Dun Banner was first to attack. We were ambushed, cut off from our main unit and devastated. Bloody scouts and Sabrina Glevisic, who was supposed to mind the battlefield. By then, the battle was in full swing. Wherever you see those damned furrows, people fought there. The Edirnian lines faltered a few times, but we couldn't crush them because of Selkirk. Yes, we had the Visitor. They had Selkirk of Gullet, the invincible White Knight, Edirn's finest swordsman. Wherever our forces gained the upper hand, he'd appear and reverse the fighting's course. Then, Vandegrift himself went into battle. He met Selkirk in the middle of the melee. It was a battle of titans. In the end, the Visitor hacked Selkirk and sliced the White Knight from his head to his balls. Then, death fell from the heavens. Lumps of burning soil flew through the air. The whole valley was on fire. Damned magic of a damned witch! I owe my life to Priest Crest, our chaplain. He led me out of the battle and went back for the others. He had a medallion that protected him against fire. He led everyone out, including the Edirnians. But the flames got him in the end.
You mentioned the priest.
A really good man. He was with us the whole time, during the march, in the barracks and in battle. Among common soldiers. Freya gave him a medallion to protect him from fire. I don't know how true that is, but he led me and many others to safety.
Who has this medallion?
King Henselt. I saw it once. I don't know how he got hold of it, but he definitely had it.
Were you at Brenna?
Ah, yes. Cut down more black ones there than anywhere else. The Redanians were in disarray on the left when we joined the battle. Same with the Temerian regiments in the middle. We arrived just in time. Menno Cohorn commanded the Nilfgaardians. He was some leader. Even we feared him like fire.
But somehow we prevailed.
What happened to him afterwards?
He refused to flee, died like many others. Though no one knows who did it, and no one ever found his corpse.
What happened before the battle?
We forded the Pontar on the third day after the autumn equinox. The Aedirnians were waiting for us, formed up in a long line at the foot of those hills. I remember the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersburg, Gullet. Knights, armoured infantry, peasants, the Vergen dwarf regiment. All save the king. They numbered more than 5,000. General Vandegrift, commander of the Kedwennies, had less than 4,000, including the elite Bearheads, armoured troops from Ard Caraig, and the famous White Foxes of the north. And ourselves, the Dun Banner, veterans of Brenner, hated by the Aedirnians more than the plague. But above all, we had Vandegrift the Visitor. Maybe he was a bastard, but he knew war like nobody else.
Did you see the duel between Seltkirk and Vandegrift?
From a distance. At the time I was on that hill, and they were somewhere over there. The field used to be as flat as a table. It was their second duel. Earlier, in peacetime, they'd met at a tournament in Ard Caraig. Seltkirk won then. Vandegrift's sword cracked and the Visitor had to yield. After the tournament, he had a new sword forged by Kedwen's best mages and swordsmiths. That's how Loathan came to be.
I think that means hatred in the Elder language. Pretty pretentious.
They say a sorcerer cast a spell on the sword and told Vandegrift the blade wouldn't crack as long as he remained invincible. The mage got 50 lashes and was the last to mention any such nonsense.
Who has Vandegrift's sword now?
When the Sea of Flames died out, the looters ran amok. They found Seltkirk's chainmail, which survived somehow. Maybe it was magical too. Vandegrift's sword went missing. The boys in the camp claim the female dragon slayer has it, but I wouldn't even try talking to her.
Who's got Seltkirk's chainmail?
A certain Vincent Trott. Low nobility, in the army since forever, a greedy bastard.
Where can I find him?
That's a problem. Deathmold wanted him arrested after they found a square coin on him. Some of the officers and noblemen want to get rid of the Black Ones. They don't like how they lord it around the camp, even though the king talks to them. Those coins are their sign, the stupid bunch of plotters. Anyway, Vincent's a swashbuckler. He thrashed Deathmold's people and disappeared. Those with the coins won't say a word because they're scared of Deathmold.
Do I have this right? You served in the Dun Banner?
Did indeed. Henselt's never commanded a fiercer group of warriors, and he never will. If not for us, there'd have been no victory for the North at Brenner. We carried the day.
I didn't see the Dun Banner in the camp.
And you won't. The unit's no more. Ensign Eckhart Hennessy carried the standard into battle for the last time 3 years ago.
Glevisig's magic?
Worse. The Aedirnian troops, the bastards. The Dun Banner, the pride of Kedwen, lost its standard and almost all its men. The Visitor refused to send us reinforcements when we were cut off. The Dun must prevail. It's been in worse shite than this. The Dun will be all right. 7 Aedirnians to each one of us. We had no fucking hope. 200 men went into battle and less than 70 came back. But that's not all. Only a few survived to this day. The boys couldn't handle it. Suicide, firewater, fistek. A few became highwaymen. They ended up on the gallows or in ditches. Memories can also kill you, and soldiers don't always deal with them well.
I have to find that standard.
I heard it lies in the catacombs neath Vergen, alongside my mates. Hey, if you're thinking of going there, I ought to give you my beaver skin cap. That's its rightful place.
Thanks, Civic. I'd like to play dice.
Wanna play right now? Here's your reward. That was good rolling. You deserve it.
Who else plays dice around here?
Madam Carol ought to play you. Interesting match that would be.
Well, it was here yesterday. Well, not another fucking stone.
I want to stock up on provisions.
Seek and ye shall find, as the prophet Lebuda would say.
He was a shepherd, had experience in seeking and finding.
You know the good book, that's worthy of praise.
Any discount on account of that?
No.
The prophet Lebioda encourages the giving of discounts.
I don't recall that verse.
Oral tradition. And if your neighbor offers you a basket of apples for a ram, say you shall take but half a basket, for 10 more neighbors will come, and 5 of them will offer you 2 baskets of apples for the ram so many covet.
An endless source of wisdom. Browse and choose.
Greetings.
Welcome an opportunity when it comes.
They say you run a traveling pawn shop. Heard you even have books.
No song, no supper.
Nobody mentioned you speak in proverbs.
A willful man must have his way.
Ah, you're doing this on a bet. How long do you have to go on like this?
Lost time is never again found.
What happens if you lose the bet?
Crows do not pick crows' eyes.
Good luck anyway.
Fortune is easily found, but hard to keep.
I wish you persistence then. Can I see your goods? I'm mainly interested in those books.
Better to ask the way than to go astray. Better to...
We should have our seed. It'll turn out like the...
Better drown.
Chance of Henselt and Shillard inviting us to their meeting.
Well, we should at least object somehow. Spit at the sight of the black ones. Turn our heads away. Hiss on their tents.
Just need to watch that we don't make a mistake, please.
Greetings, Harold.
Oh, pretty please.
Gonna pay for lifting too?
I see you finally decided to relax. Have I ever told you I think you lead a very unhealthy life?
You've mentioned it.
Evidently not enough for you to take it to heart. Anyway, the whores are quite decent here.
Maybe some other time.
You worry me.
I wonder what Sheila's doing in Henselt's camp.
You're not alone, because she's wondering what you're doing at the king's side.
How do you know?
She asked me about you.
What did she want to know?
I have no idea. I realized right off she was sniffing, and told her she could smell my fingers if she wanted. But that'd be all she'd get.
And she gave up.
Mm-hmm. See how careful I am?
Heard anything about Letho?
They say he's hiding in the ravines. He's not alone.
I know.
I fail to comprehend exactly why you have it in for him. He escaped, so what? You're no king, and as such are hardly in danger.
Letho is responsible for 2 regicides. I want to know why he did it. Or rather, for whom.
Is that so important?
Witchers don't step into political quicksand for no reason. I don't like the principles that govern the world, but so far nobody's come up with anything better. Murdering kings solves nothing, quite the contrary.
Let's say you catch him. What then?
First we'll have a talk, then he'll pay for his crime.
Punishments vary.
But there's only one punishment for murder. Henselt's camp is abuzz with rumors about the events 3 years ago.
When you burn a sorceress at the stake, rumors spread faster than the seed of a lascivious baron.
I know you primarily value sorceresses for their firm busts, but I'm curious. What do you think of Sabrina Glevissig?
Sorceresses complain about feeling underappreciated, persecuted even. But let me tell you, Geralt, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If they didn't meddle, they wouldn't be burned at the stake. They keep whining about the horrors that took place on Thanet Island, about the order of the world being destroyed. But let me ask you, who brought that about, if not them and their scheming?
Have you tried to, approach Vess?
I've thought about it. On the one hand, I've never rogered a soldier, but on the other, the clean clang of steel against steel at an intimate moment could put off even the most attentive lover. Why do you ask?
I just like to know.
I heard you dueled each other.
You heard right?
You came out on top in the arena. Maybe you should try her in another setting.
My memories and feelings seem inextricably linked. I seem to be recovering both. I believe Yennefer's alive, and I'll eventually find her.
Triss, Yennefer, that's some life you lead, my friend.
First off, we have no idea if Yennefer's still alive. Second, we have no idea if Triss is alive.
True. You seem to have 2 women, when in fact, you don't even have one.
Their kind doesn't die easily. I'll find Triss as soon as I've dealt with the assassin.
What about Yennefer?
I won't know what to do about her until I see her.
Are there traps here?
Aye, there are.
Gonna pay for lifting too?
What's so strange about that? Other lands have slizzards, drowners. We have
Steady
trolls.
yourself,
Are
Paul.
you Leva?
If you've got a growth of some sort and you're here for the salve, get in line.
Nothing of the sort this time. You were here during Henselt's previous expedition.
What of it?
I have some questions.
Be quick. Half of Henselt's nobility's waiting for this salve. They've all started pissing blood out of longing for the spouses they left at home.
Did many soldiers survive the battle 3 years ago?
But a handful. The rest were just vaporized. Those who could walk dragged those who couldn't. All the survivors were horribly burned.
I'm interested in that tower.
It's the remnant of a manor sacked long ago. They call it the Tower of Debauchery, since Madame Carol made camp at its foot.
The ravines around the camp, they don't look like they were shaped by nature.
They're proof of the great power sorceresses can summon. Sabrina's fireballs scarred the ground for many miles around the battlefield.
I'll let you get back to treating all those brave fighting men.
You again. 3 years back it was the home of Malgat, a healer, and his family. While he helped us tend the wounded, someone murdered his children. Malgat couldn't come to terms with the tragedy and threw himself into the river. The children were buried behind the house. Their graves should still be there.
I'll let you get back to treating.
None of that. Sit among the rocks and don't go there. As for the wolves, the headman tricked them. Won't forbid them from collecting gold.
Well, a witcher. Girls, trim yourselves. How can I help you, handsome?
I wanted to talk.
We're no strangers to the art of conversation, but it'll cost you just as much as a good plough.
Sounds all right.
Ask away, then. What would you like to talk about?
Anything interesting going on in the camp?
Soldiers are scared shitless, what with this battle approaching. They'd rather drink themselves silly than let us honest whores make some coin. Is that interesting? I doubt it.
Not raring to fight, are they?
They might have been eager at first, but the longer we sit here, the less lively they become. Fighting's like ploughing. Lust for one, and you lust for the other. Well, how...
I wanted...
We're no...
Sounds...
Ask away. What would you like...
I wouldn't mind knowing what you think of Henselt.
I'm a madam. What can I know about the king?
I seem to remember that madams and innkeepers know everything.
He used to come here to plough, to develop a camaraderie with the fighting men like, but that was just a phase. Most likely only ploughs sweet, smelling ladies now. Well, how... We're...
Sounds all right.
Ask, what would...
Heard of the Virgin of Edirn?
Hasn't everyone?
Any thoughts?
Oh yes, a maturing woman like that never been ploughed. Her head's bound to be muddled. We'll have peace when she drops her sword to grab a nice healthy prick instead. Well, how...
Want to roll a few rounds of dice poker?
Shall we play? You've cleaned me out.
Anyone else I can fleece around here?
Lesota, the quartermaster's helper. He plays dice.
Stilton, in the Ravalet's lands in Temeria.
Greetings. The Elder and the Recruiter are coming for you. He was slaughtering pigs at the time, so he takes a pig's eye and puts it between his buttocks.
He does.
Puts a pig's eye in his arse. The Elder and the Recruiter enter, and the mother says,
Greetings, Geralt, in these humble foreign walls.
Greetings.
My heart rejoiced to see that dear old noggin of yours emerge from a sea of unknown faces.
I see you prefer the company of Vernon and his men.
The soldiery in Hensel's camp looks at me like I'm a lump of rotten meat.
You think they suspect you of being a spy?
Who the fuck knows what's in their bloody heads? You know what? I regret I'm not a spy. I feel like the last bloody cunt here. Somewhere nearby, my brethren are sharpening their axes, just waiting for the fog to dissipate so they can blunt them on some Kedweni necks.
You've been around. Heard anything about the Kingslayer?
Just that Henselt is shitting himself for fear that his head is about to be separated from his shoulders. For me, the assassin's hiding out in the ravines. An ideal place for his kind. Anyway, I've been wondering, why the fuck do you care so much about this cunt that you're so ready to stick your neck out to find him?
Letho knows a lot about me. There are certain things probably only he can explain.
But is it worth sticking your neck out to know what was in your head before?
It is to me.
What will you do when you find him?
A crime carries punishment, and there's only one punishment for murder. All rested after the boat trip?
Don't remind me of that. My stomach churns at the very thought.
You could have traveled here on foot.
If I'd known it before days of rocking, I would have. And if they told me I'd be eating dried and salted cod 3 times a day, I'd have clobbered myself with my own hammer before boarding that boat.
You're spending all your time in Roach's camp. Have you two become chums?
Chums? That's a bit rich. But he doesn't piss me off as much as he used to. Either he's changed or I've grown accustomed.
Maybe both.
Maybe. Besides, the camp has loads of other attractions. His men cheat me at cards, and there's a tit or two to hang the gaze upon.
If that's what you're after, there's a regular whorehouse in Henselt's camp.
How can you compare a whore's tits to Vessi's? I could buy myself the others, but hers are just to be admired.
Wake up! Fen! Keep dropping your guard like that and they'll beat your kisser to a pulp! Who do we have here?
Someone who's worried about your close combat skills.
We practice a few hours every day.
And here I thought practice makes perfect.
Really? Care to show us your skill then? White-haired one.
What are the rules?
Spare our gentlemen's bits for the ladies. Other than that, hit wherever you want. We'll learn something. Maybe you'll learn something. Always fucking comes in handy. So, shall we give it a go?
Why not? Who's willing?
I'll try. See if you're as strong in your arms as you are in your gob.
Let's see what my friend Vernon taught you.
Make some room!
Did they take him? Not a chance.
Close the distance!
Got a feeling Fen won't remember much of that fight. With a few more surprises up our sleeves. How about you?
Why not? Who's willing?
Take me on. I fancy learning a few witches' tricks.
Let's see what my friend Vernon taught you.
Make some room!
Move it! Dodge! Dodge! Wake up! Keep your guard up. That's more like it.
Ha! He's still young. He'll learn. With a few more surprises up.
Why not? Who's willing?
Run out of monsters to slay? Why are you fighting my men?
Just checking to see if you've taught them well.
And?
I'm amazed they're still standing.
You lackeys. Letting yourselves get thrown around like hay bales. Maybe you want to give me a try.
Show me what you got, my striped friend.
You win. Feels like I've been kicked by a mare.
Pleasure getting a few slugs in the mug from you, Witcher. We're always eager to learn. You deserve a prize.
I don't need a reward.
It's no reward, just a sign of gratitude. We drag our arses round the world and collect all sorts of scrap metal. Take something. May it serve you well. See you soon.
Not so fast, Witcher. You'll take me on now. You snitch.
So be it.
What the bloody hell's all this about?
We're just practicing.
Want practice? I'll have you cleaning the canteen with your bare arses. How's that for practice? Back to the camp!
Aye, sir. That doesn't end this. Stop looking for square coins. You've little to gain, and you just might lose your head over it.
So long.
Want to practice?
When?
Want to
When?
In the face of possible disaster, they tried to draft entire villages. Hello.
Greetings.
Damn it. Salutations. We got our orders and got busy preparing to leave the village. She comes up to him and says,
Here to spy on us.
Who would I be spying for?
For Henselt. For Death Mold. I heard they hired you.
It just so happens we have common aims. But don't worry, observing Vernon Roach isn't one of them.
In that case, to what do I owe this pleasure?
I was wondering what you're actually doing here, Vernon.
The Blue Stripes never want for work, especially in a hotbed like this.
You're not about to tell me, are you? And here I thought we had something special.
I've got my finger on the pulse, and I've not forgotten what I came here for, Geralt.
Foltest's assassin.
Precisely. He's holed up like a rat, and he'll meet a rat's end.
Any idea what's happening on the other side of the Battle of Spectres?
Well, I expect not much has changed. A bunch of dwarves, elves, and peasants are trying to figure out how to save Edirne.
Saskia's an exceptional woman.
But just a woman, nonetheless. Besides, how would you know?
Just a hunch, and there's all the talk. Besides, to assemble an army of elves, dwarves, and humans who fight side by side, you pretty much have to be extraordinary.
You'll not persuade me some woman will defeat Henselt in battle.
You're forgetting one thing. Kedwen's just fighting for a better life. Edirne's fighting for life itself.
Motivation's important, I grant you. But it can't trump knowledge of the art of war. Temeria's my only concern. And I'll be glad to see Henselt's forces tied up here. That's a good thing.
Think he wouldn't stop after conquering Edirne? What if he quickly deals with Saskia and turns his army west?
It's possible, but I hope it won't come to that.
You need to be careful. Death Mold can't learn that you're holding a Kedweni spy.
He won't. Don't you worry none.
Death Mold has an excellent net of his own spies.
That spy we caught at Laredo's, Arnold. He's prancing around in the next world.
Did he spill anything interesting?
He was tough, but waterboarding can be incredibly effective. Eventually, he coughed up that Henselt was trying to bring the border towns to a boil.
Henselt's not stupid. He wouldn't want to wage war on two fronts.
That rat Laredo was supposed to stir unrest in Flotsam. Luckily, you rearranged his intestines with your blade.
You miss your old friend, Yorvith?
If the gods are kind, he'll yet fall into my hands. That said, I wonder what the scoundrel's up to.
What news of good old Flotsam?
Thanks to us, it still is good old Temerian Flotsam. If I hadn't sniffed out Laredo's treachery, a Kedweni garrison would be stationed there already. Constable John Natalis has appointed a new commandant to Flotsam. Let's hope he doesn't turn out to be another whore.
How are things, Vernon?
Quiet. Nothing to talk about, really. Like everybody else, I'm waiting to see how events unfold.
Why not stop waiting and try setting something in motion?
My people are combing the area for Letho, who seems to have vanished. There's nothing else I can do. What are you up to?
Busy as ever. I need to lift the fog of specters, reverse Sabrina's curse, and find out who's behind the plot to assassinate Henselt.
I never thought I'd see you so eager to help Henselt.
Coincidence. Our interests happen to have aligned.
What interest might you have in tracking down this plot?
I get the feeling it's all linked. If I can't get to the bottom of this plot, I'll be unable to lift the curse and never recover my past.
In any case, I wonder who's behind it.
Well, I know where the plotters meet. If you want to learn more, come with me.
That would be a grave error. A captain of the Temerian army shouldn't meddle in the domestic matters of another state.
I thought that's exactly what they pay you to do.
Sorry, Geralt. This time I truly cannot help.
And did he come back? After 2 years. Haven't lost 3 fingers to an axe, but returned, he's dead. Then he sees a tyke.
Greetings, Geralt.
Greetings, Vess. What news from the Blue Stripes?
They're keeping their eyes open, as always.
Henselt thinks he'll take Vergen easily.
A regular army will always win against a popular uprising. I know this, Henselt knows it. I don't understand why Saskia doesn't.
Maybe she'd rather die than surrender. Or she has a surprise in store for Henselt.
Possibly. Henselt keeps the precise plans of his campaign a secret.
Why haven't you set up in the Kedweni camp? Information becomes more available the closer you get to the source.
Henselt doesn't trust us and I don't blame him. If not for this damn fog, we'd have moved even further south.
We've lost the assassin's trail.
The trail led us here. If it goes no further, the assassins must be in the vicinity. I see 2 possibilities. Either Henselt hired them, or he's their next target.
We'll find out soon enough. Could Henselt himself be behind the assassinations?
You don't think it's possible? Consider the Pontar Valley. Temeria, Kedwen and Edirn have been disputing it for generations. Only now, Temeria and Edirn are kingless.
True. Henselt might profit from the deaths of Foltest and Demavend, but covert assassinations aren't his style.
I suppose you're right. The Kedweni king seems to love a good war. Just take a look around. Perhaps that's his ruse. When the cheese goes missing from the larder, no one thinks of blaming the cat.
I wanted to thank you. That was a great fight.
The only great fights are those I win.
It's no dishonor to lose to a mutant created for swordsmanship.
If it wasn't a tournament but a battle, we wouldn't be speaking now.
You were better than all the knights of Kedwen put together.
You're very kind.
I'm sincere.
A rare trait. Perhaps I should take advantage of this opportunity.
Since we're being honest, I'd like to have some wine with you.
With pleasure.
I wasn't expecting you to agree. This was your chance to get back at me.
I have no need. In truth, I'm grateful to you.
Interesting.
I was sure you'd go easy on me. Then I'd have told you to bugger off. But since you took me seriously, I have some Toussaint wine in my tent. Could I tempt you?
Lead the way. I learned more about you from that duel than from all our conversations put together.
I'm curious. According to Geralt of Rivia, what is Vess like?
She's ambitious, honorable, and beautiful.
In that order?
What if I say the reverse?
If you think I don't like to hear compliments about my beauty, you're very wrong. I'm a soldier, and it pisses me off when I'm viewed as a pair of tits atop an arse. But I'm also a woman, and like every woman, I have my needs.
In that case, let's drink to your needs.
I fulfill my needs differently.
Then what do you want to drink to?
To us?
I didn't know there was an us.
Better to live a day as a king than a life as a beggar. First we'll drink the wine, then we'll go to bed.
Can we do it the other way round?
Her eyes go wide and she says, "You're back! What the hell kind of soldier are you?"
Watch yourself, Geralt.
His mother comes and tells him the elder and the recruiter are coming for you. Puts a pig's eye in his ass. The elder and the recruiter enter, and the mother says, "Son, they've come to take you to war."